Hey everyone, it's Dinah, and we are back for more of Marvel's She-Hulk Attorney at Law, this time on to episode number 5. So, yeah, last time we had a superhuman court case again, with this time with Donny Blaze, where we had Donny Blaze, the kind of the kind of street magician. I can't remember if they ever actually explicitly referenced it, but then he was like a former Camartage student who, presumably dropped out and everything, and then he learned very little, and then what little he did learn, he used it to kind of somewhat wreak havoc across kind of civilian boundaries and everything. So yeah, he kept on opening swinging portals, and Madison we met Madison, who fucking took the fan base and the internet by storm and everything. Just one of the best kind of side and background characters that Marvel's come with so far. So Madison, with 2 N's and a Y, but it's not what you think. So she was cool. And yeah, her and Wong has became one of the ultimate new duos as well. Like them two just kind of ending the episode kind of contemplating alcohol and snacks and binging The Sopranos together and everything. Just them two having a blast and hanging out and being buddies and everything. So that was, again, just what more could you want? So that was really great. So hope we actually see them back again and also back together again, because now now they are pretty much a package deal. And I think been thinking about like whereabouts kind of Strange is and stuff, but then I think if this is set after Multiverse of Madness, then we know he left like with Clea too. Like Clea called him, I think, into like the Dark Dimension or something, to fix an incursion. So she's called him. So he's now made a new friend with Clea. I think, well, if it's based on the comics, then we know it progresses to much more than that. But yeah, he's met Clea, so he's off having space adventures with her and everything, and interdimensional adventures with her. So he's with her, and now Wong is with Madison, which is unarguably an equally great duo. So yeah. But we had Donny Blaze, who was endangering people's lives with his misuse of the Mystic Arts and everything. So that kind of pissed off Wong enough to actually take it to court and everything, and to have magic kind of trademarked, and to make sure that people who use magic actually do so with the kind of actual kind of enough knowledge and enough awareness of risks and stuff like that. But didn't go fully to plan. I think the judge's verdict and the jury's verdict is still impending and everything, and until then he can still keep using magic, and we saw how that ended too. So yes, I think at that point, then after averting that final crisis with the demon bats and everything, She-Hulk did manage to convince them to actually kind of put a pause on this for now, and actually then when the time comes, actually respect the judge's decision as well. So yeah, Donny Blaze. And I think some people have also kind of referenced the whole kind of did the Johnny Blaze likeness and the likelihood of that kind of being even slightly in reference to that, but I think maybe for the most part, they've kind of managed to, kind of not really kind of raise too high hopes for it. And I think they never really kind of, like, even in the show, they never bothered to make any explicit or even vague kind of references to Johnny or Mephisto or any of that kind of stuff. So I mean, for all we know, this could just be just yet again be them kind of doing something completely normal, and as per usual, the fan base kind of blowing out of proportions because of like hype they have for various characters appearing and doing whatever and everything. But then I think again, Jennifer, like, using her her so eloquent kind of fourth wall breaks and everything, has explicitly kind of stated that this isn't the kind of show where there's like a new cameo every week and you can expect to see someone for no reason whatsoever, and then it just kind of and then it diverts all attention to them. This is She-Hulk's show, this is Jennifer Walters' show, so whoever shows up, they can show up, but then this is still her show and her story and everything. So, and it can just be like her actually meeting people too. So as a lawyer, she's going to meet people, so, and as a superhuman lawyer too, she's going to meet people. So I feel like that. I think with all the cameos we've gotten to, I think that's why they work so well too. The fact that like they actually have had something to do with her personal or professional life. I think her being a lawyer, she hasn't really kind of taken on anyone who wasn't already connected to her person. I mean, Bruce being the only one connected to her personally, but then Wong and Blonsky have both been kind of professional things, like with her being a lawyer and taking on cases and everything. You know, so there's that, and then the Megan Thee Stallion one. The Megan Thee Stallion was just fun. That was just fucking fun. That was the definition of a cameo being fun and actually being kind of original and everything. So that was just there, and it had little to no kind of like you know, kind of diverting impact on the show and everything. It was really fun, and it kind of allowed She-Hulk and Jennifer to have fun too. So. Yeah, I think, I don't know, I mean, I keep on using those names interchangeably, like She-Hulk and Jennifer. I think it's because, like, I think it's because of years of, like, actually identifying Hulk and Bruce as different people that I think then, like, my mind is going to automatically latch in that differentiation onto Jennifer too. But then with Jennifer, it's been proven that any transformation is only physical, like, mentally and even on the inside. She's still Jennifer, even in She-Hulk form. So, I don't know, so I think it's just, like, force of habit actually kind of making me actually kind of, and even then, like, She-Hulk then is also like a name. She-Hulk too, I think She-Hulk is a name that she is taken on after being dubbed as such by the media and the community and everything. But then now, as per the last episode's ending, we've seen that Titania herself has actually sued Jennifer over her usage of the name She-Hulk, because apparently at some point she managed to actually trademark the name before her. How or why, we can only wait and find out. But yeah, that's going to be the new court case. So now She-Hulk has to defend herself in court, or probably maybe ask Pug to help her with something. But yeah, now the next case is going to be hers and her usage of the She-Hulk trademark and everything, because it's trademarked by Titania, so that was a surprise and a half. So gonna be interesting to see how that goes down. And yeah, we had a bit of Jennifer and She-Hulk dating. I think that might be the only case in which we can actually kind of we can kind of refer to them as two separate kind of identities, because she did actually try dating first as Jennifer Walters, and then she got no matches, and then she tried dating as She-Hulk, and then the matches flew in, and she actually had like a few. I think as Jennifer Walters, she had one date, but it was nowhere near successful, and just probably not worth talking about. But then even as She-Hulk, I think she had a few dates here and there, and then those were kind of like a mixed bag. And then that one guy who actually lasted through the night, but then by the time the morning came, and then he actually saw Jennifer in human form for the first time, he got deterred almost immediately, and then he was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna go. And he didn't even have breakfast, didn't even stay for breakfast, just literally just kind of just left immediately. So that was as far as that went. So yeah, apparently dating with She-Hulk actually works out in like a more long-lasting way. So I guess we'll see exactly how that progresses, if she decides to go back to, or maybe if she decides to try something else or something. So who knows? We can only wait and see. But yeah, dating. She tried it. So I would love for them to expand on this, especially with that comment from Nikki in the last episode too, when she was actually scouring through her profiles and her matches and everything. I'd love to see exactly how they might expand upon it and who else they might introduce and everything. So yeah, we'll see. We will see. So yeah, but yeah, I think for the most part that is pretty much all of the stuff I kind of covered and remembered from the last episode. So that was episode 4. So yeah, on to episode 5 of She-Hulk: Attorney at Law. Let's go.
She-Hulk, Lady Hulk, Girl Hulk, K-Hulk, give them what they want. She-Hulk.
So if she had gone with any of the other names, that wouldn't have been trademarked, right? It wouldn't sound any better, but it wouldn't be trademarked. Wow.
Is beauty.
Is it a fragrance? This has fragrance written all over it.
By Titania.
Or is it a dress?
Be beautiful.
No. It's gonna be is it a makeup kit? Oh, is it a makeup palette? Whoa, her arms. Even as Jen, her arms. Arms.
Hey Titaniacs, can't wait to see you all.
Titaniacs.
Chad! Oh, what's up, Jen?
Chad?
You can't just walk into my house.
Oh, just want
Cool
to tell you,
shirt.
I kinda
Chad?
just did that. I'm making a killing. You know, Jen, the way trademark works is whoever gets there first gets it, So if you would have done yours first, then she wouldn't have been able to done that,
Wow, Chad, that's mind-blowing logic. I don't think anyone else, with brain cells would have figured that out. She-Hulk by Titania. Wow, okay. Oh, jeez. Yeah, She-Hulk by Titania. At least she's wearing a green dress. That's the,
She's literally selling snake oil.
Snake oil lip pumper? Why would she call it like, that's such a specific name to trademark, especially with Jennifer having come out of She-Hulk too. It's so specific.
Beauty tonic. So you're not mad at the name She-Hulk?
No, I don't care about
Okay, so you're totally over it.
it. Yeah, like the most over it.
Poor stapler.
Crushing your stapler.
gosh.
Waiting for a sneaker drop. The Iron Man
Sneakers.
are coming out and
Iron Man 3s.
Why do you need 2 pairs?
One to rock and one to stock.
Display
Okay, so
and
you're telling me that you
actual
collect
usage.
Shoes to look at.
Not gonna
There are
brag
worse
to
things you
anything,
can collect.
but
Huh?
I do have.
Drip broker. Find someone who could do custom clothing for, say, a superhuman-sized person.
Slick Nick. Slick Nick.
Nikki and Pug. I would like to see that.
I'm over it. I really am.
Now my boy Alonzo,
Alonzo.
the drip broker, he sent me. Superhero stuff.
Iron Man
It's a
3s.
boba cafe.
我们不是警察.
What is that, Chinese? I'm not Chinese.
I would said we're not cops.
She speaks Chinese, that's cool. Oh,
To the back.
Alonzo is he Alonzo? Is he Alonzo?
Captain America shield, Thor hammer.
Oh, I thought the Avengers team was playing. Damn, he's got Avengers merch.
Avengers.
You don't like Avengers?
Avenger,
Avengers.
what?
With an eye.
Avengers.
I like this.
I want bootleg stuff.
Avengers.
Okay? I want custom-made clothing. Okay, fine. I'll buy one of your Avengers t-shirts.
And a matching
Got a
hat.
shield and a
Yes, of course, I
hammer.
want to complete the ensemble.
Now all you need is Thabu from Avenger Boys. The Avengers. The Avengers.
Hi. Actually, my client is an Avenger.
She's one of the top tier ones, sir.
Yes.
S tier. S tier.
My assistant will set up the appointment.
Mm-hmm.
I can still see you.
Oh god, Nikki and Pug, yes, this series is full of amazing duos.
GLK&H made She-Hulk the face of our superhuman law division. And now we find ourselves in the middle of a frivolous
Oh, for fuck's sake, this is episode 1 all over again.
hires a firm.
I am going to fix this, sir.
No.
Well, I'm surprised and relieved you aren't foolish enough to try to represent yourself. At least you know that
Okay.
basic rule.
Oh, you can't represent yourself?
I'm taking this on as a professional courtesy, but moving
Okay.
forward, we are not colleagues. Why didn't you trademark your own pseudonym?
I never even thought about it. Did Doctor Strange have to trademark his name?
Exactly,
Thor.
the Avengers
There's two examples
trademarked.
of people who use their real names.
That's a fair point, actually, yeah. But are the Avengers trademarked? Captain America?
This is the person.
You
who
know, the
legally
Avengers.
outlived-
Actually, maybe that's why.
Nice suit, Shrek.
Oh Jesus! Oh. Wouldn't Fiona be more applicable here?
The defendant is exploiting goodwill towards my client and her better-known cousin in order to sell her non-FDA approved sham product.
Well, damn, not even FDA approved. Pretty sure that's illegal in itself.
Jennifer Walters was not interested in the She-Hulk name until it became associated with this incredibly successful line of products.
She had no idea about the products.
I will not answer to that name. You know why? My name never has been and never will be She-Hulk. It's
Okay, that doesn't look
it's
great.
repetitive and it's straight up garbage.
How did you come up with the name She-Hulk?
Oh yeah, there's this one too.
Random guy
Yeah.
on the news came up with it, but it stuck. So now whether I like it or not, I am forever She-Hulk.
My client clearly stated that she is She-Hulk.
She had an identity crisis.
Your Honor, we definitely have more to present.
You'd better, otherwise I'm inclined to side with the defendant.
Yeah, of course you are. Until Thursday. Yes.
She-Hulk is going to be one of the Avengers.
You said she was one.
It hasn't been announced yet because they're still working at the deal.
Unofficial.
Is her
By blood?
Yeah. She needs a suit that's going to fit her both as Jen and as She-Hulk.
Yeah, that's true.
Require a lot of
Yeah.
talent. Can we go ahead and show him?
Like a one size fits all. Yeah. Like it grows with her too and it shrinks down.
Yeah. All the way down, small, impish.
Look at her. So cute. In a baggy
You
suit.
think you could design a suit that would adapt to both of my bodies?
Tinsley,
Tinsley.
what are extra bolts of the stretch wool we're
The stretch
going
wool.
to need?
Is that body armor? With pecs and abs?
Oh no.
Oh no, it's the fan.
The fetish.
I know her.
It's the fan.
Todd, right?
She-Hulk? I didn't know you worked here.
Yeah, Are you?
You didn't? How did you
I'm
not
one of
know
the
that?
biggest. Just had a meeting with my favorite lady lawyer.
No touching.
Yo, bro, went on a date with She-Hulk. Oh my God. What? He went on a date with She-Hulk.
He could.
Because I made a dating
Yeah,
profile as
everyone you went on a
She-Hulk
date with.
and went on several dates
Yeah.
as She-Hulk, showing
job.
a clear pattern of using the name.
Huh.
Every single one of those dates is a corroborating witness. This case.
But would all of them admit to it though? Like, are we sure? Like,
Courtroom.
yeah.
Oh, Jen, that's gonna be embarrassing.
Because there was that one guy who left straight afterwards too. So I mean, he would probably just admit to only wanting to take She-Hulk. I don't know. It will probably still work, but it's not in like a very moralizing kind of way. So. All she needs right now is corroborating
Your Honor,
witnesses.
We have compelling My client wrote, and I quote, mean, green, and straight poured into these veins. And to answer the question, what are you looking for in a partner? A sturdy back and reinforced king-size bed. JK, JK.
Oh, jeez, yeah. I mean, hey, that's not terrible, you know? She's got a sexuality and everything. Oh, and they're all here. They're all here. Even the guy who skipped breakfast.
She confided in me that she was initially embarrassed by the name She-Hulk. I guess, I don't know, I'm the kind of guy a woman can really open up to.
So you would
Just
say
thinking
you
down
really
the chair.
connected with She-Hulk.
She-Hulk.
Would you have gone on the date if She-Hulk had instead presented as Jennifer Walters?
Here comes the demoralization.
I don't mean
Here
to
comes the
be rude.
demoralization.
No, she's not really my type. But She-Hulk, She-Hulk's incredible. She's amazing.
Well, there we have it. Can she have the fucking name now,
In
please?
light of this the court finds in favor of Jennifer Walters, AKA She-Hulk.
She's
Motion
earned
for
that
summary
shit,
judgment is
alright? She's earned
Titania
it.
and her subsidiaries.
Yeah, that can't feel great, but at least she has the name back. That's a win. A win-lose or a win...
For that,
Blech.
what that extremely attractive man said in there. You can do better. You deserve better.
Someone who respects both sides of you.
Can I buy you a drink to say thanks?
Sure.
I'm so happy you're doing this. Cheers.
As Jennifer too. As Jennifer.
Strategy. Everything that She-Hulk brings to the table, and those guys were my best option.
You can have literal superpowers, and some guy with an internet connection will still think he can do better. Oh my God, the things we put up with. I thought you were getting better clothes.
Oh yeah, the suit still has to come.
Oh yeah, my clothes.
Yeah, the suit. Your She-Hulk suit.
Ooh, I like it.
Of course you do, because I'm a genius.
A genius. How does it look? Is it like an actual superhero suit? Like it still looks like a regular suit.
Do a little something extra.
Oh, is that the superhero suit? Is that the superhero suit that she puts on underneath?
Just say thank you.
It's gotta be a superhero suit. That's gotta be the superhero that she puts on underneath. Yeah, she just
Kinsley,
rips her
does
shirt
client
open.
confidentiality
and
mean
stuff.
nothing to you?
Oh, pick up! He's making a Daredevil suit! He's made a Daredevil helmet! That was a Daredevil thing! That was Daredevil! He made a Daredevil helmet with the horns and he's the yellow and oh jeez. And that was to pick up too. Matt's picking up his new helmet and everything. Damn. Okay, that's cool. That's really cool. Oh god, what a great way to end the episode too. Yeah, oh gosh. Oh, was that the end? No post-credit? Really, nothing? I guess with an ending like that, I thought there might be a post-credit, but with an ending clip, with an ending shot like that, I thought there might be more, but no, with an ending shot like that, that is enough to get people talking for days. So, yeah. Okay then. So yeah, I just want to get that Daredevil thing right out of the way first. I want to get that Daredevil helmet thing right out of the way. So because I mean, again, that opening, that closing shot alone is just going to be the talk of the town for at least a little while. I would have been happy with it either way. Like the fact that we got the closing shot was cool, but even if we didn't really see him until the same scene from the trailer showed up in the actual show as well, I would have been cool with that too. It'd be like, okay, so they're actually kind of maintaining kind of surprise and maintaining kind of faith to the show itself, and actually still of waiting until it actually works. But with this, I think it still kind of works. And I think there is a way they could actually genuinely work him into the story and make it feel good and actually make it work and have them both interact really well as characters too. So like it doesn't, like for him, it also, again, it doesn't need to be exclusively like a one-touch kind of cameo just to show that Daredevil really is here in the MCU and everything. It could easily be like them two working together on a case, or even actually even again Matt discovering that there's yet another superhero lawyer in the city and everything, but arguably someone who's actually far more in the spotlight as herself and as her superhuman kind of alter ego and everything. So yeah, some of him to connect to on that level too, and actually maybe even pass down some advice, since he's actually been doing that whole game in like a more kind of split kind of way for so long. So again, I think they could definitely kind of make like an entire episode about him and Jennifer, but also with Daredevil and She-Hulk actually working together, like they're doing their own superhero thing too. You know, like she just picks him up and just launches him at some enemies. I really fucking want to see that now. Just like her, just kind of like, picking him up and holding him, like in X-Men. I think in the thing I think it was in The Last Stand when what's his fucking name? Colossus actually kind of like turned metal, and then he picked up Wolverine and just kind of launched him at the Sentinels and everything. So doing that, but with Daredevil and She-Hulk actually launching him at some thugs or mercenaries or whatever, just what have you. So there's a lot of stuff they could do. And I think again, I feel like with these two characters, it would definitely kind of work, and having them just kind of meet and interact would definitely help to kind of forge more connections between characters more than anything else. So again, we'll see where it goes, but that closing shot alone was just so fucking cool. You know, just this is the perfect closing. And I think the a great way to actually kind of expand Luke's kind of roster of exactly who he works for and who his like kind of clientele it is, and like how hard he works to make stuff as well. So you know, so yeah, so then he's why Matt actually has like an actual different like a different kind of color scheme from the comics. I think I've heard it's also the original one too. Like I think his first like even in the Netflix series, like we know he actually did use like a general kind of like a tracksuit type thing with like the kind of the long sleeve top and the actual kind of half face kind of bandana thing. Like I think that one was something a bit more homemade and everything. So there was that. I've heard even in the comics, like his first proper super suit wasn't fully red or anything. Like it was actually him wearing red, and you know, like that was the actual classic Daredevil suit because it was the original one. And then later down the line, to pull off the more kind of devilish look, he actually kind of went like for a full red and so. And like of course it depends on artists too and how they color it in and how they design it too. So I think he's had so sometimes he's got lighter shades of red, other times he's got darker shades, and then even the design of the suit kind of looks different down the line. I think when you're adapting that into live action, it just gives you so many different choices and so many different kind of ways to adapt it from too. So you know, if they want to, I think maybe if they really do want to do like a soft reboot of Daredevil into this universe, like without fully decanonizing whatever comes before, but then actually kind of doing like a softer reboot and actually bring him into this, maybe then I think bringing in the yellow suit would actually kind of not be like a half bad idea. So then it definitely works. I think to know that Luke designed it too is pretty cool. So he actually is the one who kind of sets for like Matt just kind of books reservations, or it's actually just books appointments to actually pick up suits and everything. Yeah, I think the helmet is what you need. I think I'm glad that they actually didn't give away the entire kind of trailer, the entire suit shot, because then for one thing we've seen it in the trailer already, and I think that the full trailer shot and everything of Matt in the suit too, we can wait to see that until whatever episode he actually pops up in. So don't know if this is like a direct reference to the fact that he might show up in the next episode or something, but either way, whenever he shows up, it's going to be fucking golden. So they're only going to be bringing in Matt, but then we also know, like, from his story, from his universe, you know, Vincent D'Onofrio is Wilson Fisk, aka Kingpin, so he's coming back. So you know, I think Foggy was a lawyer. Foggy also was a lawyer along with him. I think Karen was Karen their paralegal? I think because I mean she was also a journalist. She also did work in like an actual at like a newspaper in Hell's Kitchen. So I think there was that. But then working in their office, I can't remember if she was like a receptionist or like a paralegal or something. I don't even know if they ever had a paralegal. But then they could connect over having their friends too and everything. So thingy like Jennifer being like, oh yeah, my best friend Nikki and like maybe my best friends Nikki and Pug actually know I'm a superhero too, and then And then, just Matt just casually name dropping Foggy and Karen and everything. So I don't know. I don't know. I feel like they're thinking ahead way too hard with that kind of stuff. But either way, however they do, whatever they do, is hopefully going to be cool. And I can't wait to see how they pull it off and everything. But that just such a perfect closing shot, just to tease who's coming up next, and also kind of to further showcase exactly what Luke's kind of clientele is. So super cool. I wondered if we'd actually see any, because I think he did have mannequins with actual prototypes or design templates or like whatever's on them. Like he did have mannequins with suits on them. But I think none of those designs seem to be anything that I could initially kind of recognize. I think there was that one with the actual kind of pecs and the abs kind of molded onto them too. But I think with those, I think those could easily just be design templates too, and actually stuff that he just uses to display or to work off or anything like it. I think he did. It's been a really long time since I've actually watched this movie. I think it definitely also warrants a rewatch. But it does for me. I don't know if I'm the one getting, or if maybe I'm just going for like the most mainstream movie choice there is, because it's the only one of its kind. Maybe that I actually remember watching. But it does kind of give off like the vibe of like Devil Wears Prada, but with superheroes and everything. So like with the actual eccentric and the flamboyant and the kind of really kind of sassy kind of fashion designer, but then he does it for superheroes and everything. So yeah, and I think of course his clientele list is super duper exclusive, and he doesn't waste time or waste resources and stuff, and he's very, very serious and very kind of very outgoing and precious about his work and everything. So I mean, I have no idea if I'm accurately kind of describing Meryl Streep's character from that movie, but again, I think he did. Even if they are trying to mimic a movie, it could be that movie, it could be any other movie, or maybe they could just kind of be leaning into maybe somewhat easily, so somewhat more like a stereotype too. Like fashion designers are typically that way. They're very bashful and they're very very strict and disciplined and very, very kind of, like, what's the word? Like, authoritarian or authoritative, maybe authoritative and stuff like that. They're very, very passionate about bossing people around and being strict on time and doing stuff, and very, very kind of precious about their work and everything. So could just be kind of leaning into that kind of stereotype too. But either way, it works. I think he definitely can still get stuff done. I think his actual place, I mean, I did initially call it like a really fancy kind of sweatshop, but then even then it's like an actual fashion designer's kind of workstation and like an office and like a like a part of a building and everything. I think I still can't remember exactly where they dropped off. I think because they went to Pug and Nikki actually went to the boba shop, but then that just turned out to be a front for the fake Avengers stuff. Can't remember exactly actually where they were. I think because then they went into like a building, and then there was like a seemingly dark kind of corridor, and then like an elevator or like something on the other side, and then like a really bright and vibrant kind of addition to like a surprisingly dingy kind of building. So I can't remember exactly where they went, but either way, it definitely does seem more like he's maybe like the street level kind of Tony Stark in that sense too. Because then up until now, I think like we haven't really had many other superheroes who've actually had that high tech or that kind of that well built of super kind of costumes or anything. Like Thor materialized his own shit from Asgardian magic and everything. The Avengers all had their shit paid for by Tony and everything. There was that. Sam's new suit comes from Wakanda. Wanda's suit is magic and everything, Peter, like his Iron Spider one came from Tony too, but then most of his suits came from Tony anyway. Most of them came from Tony anyway. I think the stealth suit came from S.H.I.E.L.D. That came from S.H.I.E.L.D. Outside of the Avengers, I'm pretty sure like most, if not all people, like most, if not all superheroes actually can like either had to come up with their superhero suits themselves or they had to go elsewhere. But then Daredevil, like Matt is now getting his suit from Luke. So it begs the question: what happened to Melvin? I think was his name Melvin. I'm pretty sure his name was Melvin. I think he was like a mechanic or an engineer or something. I think his daughter or something like Betsy or Betty. I can't remember. I think he made the suits in exchange for protection. Like I'm pretty sure like he made Matt his kind of suits in exchange for protection. Matt kind of promised to protect him and his daughter. I think it was especially in exchange for actually him kind of bit like he built him weapons. He actually built him the Billy Club that had all sorts of tricks and everything, and he actually built him the kind of reinforced kind of suits and all that kind of stuff. So what happened to Melvin? They're just not going to bring Melvin into this, or I don't know. I mean, I don't remember him dying. I'm not entirely sure I actually remember him in season 3. I think he was in season 1, and I'm pretty sure season 2 as well. Can't remember if they actually wrapped his story up or actually said that he left town with his daughter or something. So I don't know. But either way, for whatever reason or for that reason, Melvin is probably no longer in the picture. So then that means that Daredevil himself has to go to someone else to actually help supply him his new suit and everything. So yeah, so that's the state of that. So where does the money actually also come from? Like, the superhero's actually paying for it, or I don't know, because then again, like, I think he has to have money to be able to afford the entire place and to afford the team that works with him too, and to make it look as good as it is. So, you know, he's clearly legit. So then, you know, I mean, I think that also kind of wouldn't be too hard to believe, because then I think Tony just kind of makes money in general. So I really don't think he would actually charge any of the Avengers for the stuff he gives them or anything. So then there's that. But then I think with Luke, I think he needs to make money. But then like he needs money for all the stuff he makes too. I think if he is making something as serious as the Daredevil suit, and even as presumably serious as the She-Hulk suit would be too, he would need the finances to support that, the finances to support the building and the team and everything. Like, there's also like a very underground team too, so it's not like they can be kind of funded by the government or anything. So we might have to say goodbye to Jennifer in like a baggy suit. So it's been great. It's been fun. We've had like 5 episodes of it. So it's been a really great run. Jennifer in baggy clothes in general has just been a really fun run. So I mean, well, she can still wear baggy clothes. She can still wear baggy clothes because he only ever made her a suit. He never made her, you know, the same kind of pajamas or the same kind of social wear or anything. He just gave her a work suit and everything. So there's that. So baggy suits, goodbye, but baggy PJs, that's always a win. So you know, so you gave her like a suit that I think presumably like an actual kind of shrinking and enlarging suit. But then in the actual special special suit bag to kind of hid the suit away, that one had to be the actual kind of super suit that she wears. I don't know exactly what that might look like. I don't know if we've actually seen that in the trailers, because I really don't know if that's also something that they'd actually kind of reveal in promo or anything. But I personally haven't seen anything to actually kind of previewing it myself, so I don't know exactly what kind of color scheme it's going to go for, because I mean, with the Hulk, I think he kind of did have a suit in Endgame, didn't he? I think he did technically have like something of a suit in Endgame, kind of. I think in Endgame he did, but then that was just then. But I think with She-Hulk, I think now would be their time to really maybe actually kind of go for like an actual color scheme and like a memorable and like an actual kind of, you know, like a matching and iconic kind of design and everything. I'm probably not going to get a logo or anything, but then still like an actual kind of color scheme that matches her and actually fits her as a Hulk and everything. I don't know what that would be, you know, like because I think purple is Hulk's, purple is kind of Hulk's thing, but then presumably she gets the suit to put on over the actual suit too, but then I don't know if that one's like, you know, if that one still enlarges along with her, because then because that one, so I think the other superhero suit she wears in battle, like if she ever actually gets into a fight again, then she can wear that one. But then the other actual kind of the other formal suit, then that one's just for work. So then that way, when she gets home and she can actually kind of, you know, Jenniferize herself again, then that suit actually goes down to her actual size too, and then she can actually kind of walk around without feeling like she's wearing giant clothes and everything. But then when she's in the courtroom and when she's at work, she can enlarge and then be She-Hulk again. So it works. Luke is just hooking her up. Luke is hooking her up with almost everything she needs. So yeah, they had stuff that they had like mugs and a t-shirt and like hats and like a Captain something shield and like an actual Mjolnir looking hammer. I think the hammer, to my knowledge, all it's missing is the actual leather strap at the bottom, and then I think the shield's the shield's coloring that definitely looks different. The shield's actual color scheme looks very different too. There's that. So because usually it has a white star, but then this one has like a blue star. But then I think maybe the circle colors are inverted too, and then there's like other kind of like knapsacks and everything. So there's that. But then it's also the Avengers. So I don't know if he's actually changed the name of it. So I think there's Thur, 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 and then Hawk guy. And they actually use the fonts from the show too. They actually, I don't know how I noticed that, but then they actually do use the actual fonts from the individual logos too. So then, yeah, I think all this. So then, this is a thing likely because the actual Avengers name has been trademarked. I think not only that, but it's like, you know, with the Avengers like having Tony Stark on their side, someone who's actually faced like, you know, who's been in court before and has probably kind of faced like legal repercussions and actively kind of, you know, like it's the Stark Industries being a trademark of its own, him having to deal with probably having to deal, because then even Iron Man 2 showed off, like, Iron Man 2 literally showed off, like, other people from other government agencies and other kind of tech labs all over the world and actually trying to recreate his own Iron Man tech, but then splendidly failing. I think Justin Hammer being one of them too, like, Justin Hammer actually having been on a project too where the test pilot got injured but survived and everything, so Iron Man 2 dealt with, his kind of tech. I think Whiplash became a thing because, he recreated the arc reactor technology that Tony used, and then he used that to power some whips and stuff. So Iron Man 2 literally dealt with people actually trying to build their own version of his tech and use it against him. So I think with him, I think Tony would be just to probably spend like at least a week after forming the Avengers, kind of, or like just filing all the necessary paperwork to trademark the crap out of it and just be like, yeah, you know, Avengers is our thing, Captain America, Black Widow, Thor, Hulk, Iron Man, all that kind of stuff. So then that would then kind of anyone else who'd like so then anyone else who'd want to make money off of that name without having to pay royalties or like without having to face legal repercussions couldn't do so without actually botching it up and doing their own copy and everything. So yeah, just like an interesting way to show that like even in the MCU there are people who actually want to make money off the name without being sued and without being kind of like there is Avengers merch out there too, so then if people want Avengers stuff, then they go for that, but then don't really know who would want to buy Avengers. Like, I mean, unless there are parents out there that are willing to actually bring that meme to life of like kids being like, hey, mom, dad, can we go get Avengers? And then the parents being like, yeah, hey, don't worry, we have Avengers at home. And then the Avengers at home, it's just the Avengers thing. They're just, you know, the MCU actually reinforcing that meme actually existing within family households in the MCU too, like, you know, like kids wanting the Avengers and then mum and dad just kind of settling to buy the Avengers and everything. But then again, they wouldn't know about that unless they went to Alonzo at the boba tea place. So yeah, so there's that. So the Avengers, because of the Avengers trademark, if you want the Avengers but you can't afford that merch, then the Avengers might be the merch you want, but then your kids still might not be happy with. So yeah, there's that. And then speaking more on trademarks too, we had the court case that was Titania versus Jennifer on the basis of who gets to use the name She-Hulk and everything. So then we find out that, so I mean, fragrance was close, okay? Fragrance, I think I can't. What else did I say? I think I theorized energy drinks, because then I thought, yeah, it could be like an energy drink thing. She maybe she wants to, because then I feel like that one I think would have swayed the court in favor of Jennifer a lot more though, because if it was energy drinks thing, then that would be kind of like more explicitly based off of She-Hulk and her physique and her energy and her kind of might and her strength and everything. So I feel like if that was that, then I think the court would see that like Titania is actually kind of like actually making money off of Jennifer and like her image and her lifestyle and everything, and actually being like, you know, oh, so you're making money off of that kind of stuff. So then they'd be like, okay, well, if you're explicitly using her in your campaigns and in your actual promotions and in your product, then she deserves to actually kind of be able to actually kind of like actually at least make royalties off of that or something. So I don't know. But either way, I think for fragrance was close. I mean, it could also be. They never outline every last little minute detail too. So there weren't like a few places in there, but then still, again, fragrance was close. It was a beauty product line, so you know, like an actual whole makeup palette and different kind of thing. Like it was like a snake oil venom lip pumper type thing and everything. Like Nikki's eyeshadow actually looked really, really, really great. So there was that. But then I think also like I think Titania from top to bottom was just chock of like fashion and makeup and having her own style and her own expression and everything. So there was that. I think even her she was even wearing green. Come on now. You telling me green was the only color she could think of? She wouldn't wear blue or purple or freaking orange or something? You know, green. She specifically went with green. So she specifically went with green. So I think that one. And I think again, it intrigues me that they never actively even talked about exactly when the name She-Hulk was trademarked. Because I think that would also make for like a very compelling kind of argument in case too. Like also like, hey Titania, did you trademark this name before or after She-Hulk? Because then. Would that hold up in court though? Because then, like, if she trademarked it after the whole She-Hulk thing came along, because then if she trademarked it during the time that Jennifer was actively declining the name She-Hulk, because then there was a fair amount of time between her declining the name and then also gradually and then eventually accepting it on the news and everything. So then, if she filed the trademark between those 2 points, then it would be like her actually using a name that Jennifer herself doesn't even want to use, and she probably they even tried to use that as in court too. They even tried to actually use that clip in court of like Jennifer saying like, you know, like that is not my name and it never will be my name and I'll never use it, so stop calling me that. Mallory had to bring in the other rebuttal clip of her going on the news and actually finally admitting to the thing, so both of those kind of instances actually came back to kind of serve their purposes and everything, so, or to serve like an additional purpose and everything, so there was that. But yeah, I think the fact that they actually never did, because at least just to add more detail to the case, and actually add more detail to maybe to Titania's motivations too, because then again, like the entire time, I think even her kind of closing kind of line to Jennifer being like, you know, this isn't over hated, like it actually showed like some kind of actual spite and some kind of actual kind of like a mission against Jennifer too. Like it actually seemed like she actively wanted to actually have that She-Hulk name, and it seemed more like she actually wanted to actually keep it out of Jennifer's hands and keep it to herself more than anything else. So then if she had no problem with Jennifer or She-Hulk, I feel like she would just kind of scoffed and then walked off, but then her actively getting up in Jennifer's face and making such like a kind of stance and everything kind of shows that she actively does have something against Jennifer and She-Hulk too. So then it's a good thing you didn't try and defend yourself in court, because then that would have been really stupid. And apparently lawyers can't. I mean, I guess it makes sense, because then even what's his fucking name, Dennis could like he didn't represent himself in court. He actually got. I guess that kind of makes sense too, because then. Yeah, I guess if you're defending yourself, maybe it's just that much harder. Maybe you're that much more liable for any kind of stuff. I guess maybe it's just not as sturdy of a process as it is compared to actually hiring out like an additional lawyer to help you as well. So I don't know if like you know, because a lawyer defending themselves, I guess on paper it might sound smart, maybe to me, but I guess in practice it actually just isn't that practical. Maybe there's actual kind of like legal precedents kind of set against lawyers presenting themselves too. Yeah, I don't know, but either way, so yeah, Mallory was the lawyer for Jennifer, so I think it kind of seemed like it went well too. I think she was still kind of capable, and actually, I think maybe she was like reluctant to take the job on, but then she still kind of actually pulled through, and she actually kind of still did her job very, very well too. And actually got Jennifer the name credit back and everything, so that was cool, seeing them working together and everything. That was really kind of fun. And then yeah, even in the end, like them two actually sharing drinks at the bar and actually having a good time, and actually kind of actually, you know, somewhat kind of confirming like a newfound friendship between them was a really cool step forward to take and everything. So that was really fun. Them kind of bonding over like troubles, just kind of actually kind of like you know, like kind of presenting themselves in front of men, and actually kind of presenting their own validity and self-worth and stuff like that. Like that line from Mallory too, like even with the powers of a literal superhero, some dude on the internet will still have something to say, and some dude on the internet will still have his own opinion that he just feels kind of obligated to express and everything. So there was that whole thing. Her turning into this so far has actually still presented her with a bunch of problems that she's constantly kind of struggled to deal with, but then, you know, like knowing that she also is viewed only as a partner because of what she can turn into as well. Like it goes from, I think maybe like the kind of healthy display of like even men being into buffer and maybe more masculine looking women. It turns it from that into them being like, you know, yeah, I'm only really kind of into her for, they're still only into her being She-Hulk and only into her appearance as She-Hulk and only into what she can do and everything. Like, and also like the whole superhero identity that comes with the two, because then there's a high chance that like pretty much all of them actually kind of, you know, went home with the kind of constant reminder in their head that they actually went on a date with a superhero and everything. So there's that whole thing. So just like not the most kind of moralizing kind of aspect of that kind of segment or anything. So that kind of did, like, you can actively see like Jennifer being like, okay, great, so this does work out for me in court, but then in terms of my actual love life, it just you know, just again pour salt in an open wound. Why don't you? So I mean, I think the most obvious thing is that she's like she's gonna find a way to bounce back from it too, because then like that's the way the story's likely gonna roll too. But then she also I think that she's also gonna be probably gonna be validated more by the fact that she does have like an actual kind of like a solid and stable kind of social network and like a familial kind of foundation and like a social network with Nikki and Pug and even Mallory now too. So she does have people in her life who care about her regardless of what form she's in. But maybe that might be like her main kind of like dilemma too, the fact that like the world kind of sees her in this one way so explicitly and so vividly that it kind of dominates her life more and more every day, and then she's gonna have to find a way to favor that. I feel like I kind of do like that being like the idea of that being the main antagonist, like of that being the main antagonist of her story, like worldview and societal reaction like to who she is and what she is and everything. Because I think we've had a bit of it with Hulk too, but then that's only ever really been explored so touch and go in like such a touch and go fashion in the movies. But with this one having like a whole series actually wrapped around Jennifer and her having to deal with the societal kind of repercussions of being She-Hulk, both good and bad. I think her dealing with that, like that being her antagonist, that actually can do like her antagonist kind of being like identity crisis and like objectification and like like glorification of her body and who she is, and maybe even that kind of thing being explored too. Like even as a superhero, that there's still going to be something that the world chooses to hyper focus on and actually blow out of proportion, and actually going to choose to actually base her onto. Like people aren't going to be basing her on her abilities to be a lawyer or even her kind of her personality or her life as Jennifer Walters. It's always going to be who she is and what she does as She-Hulk and everything. And then even everyone she meets is only ever really going to see She-Hulk without knowing that there's a whole other kind of like a amazing human being on the other side and everything. So yeah, I think I feel like so far the way Titania has played that too has just been on fucking point. It's been on point. Titania is playing. I was about to say Jennifer. Jennifer Walters. No. So far the way that she's been playing She-Hulk and Jennifer Walters has been nothing if not on point. The way that she's actually managed to pull off this character who's actually going through all this stuff and actually managing to make a character so likable who's facing this kind of stuff too is really well. But I think she definitely is embodying that character, the same way that like so many kind of actors like the MCU have actually kind of fully embodied their characters to damn near perfection, actually made you kind of imagine them as their character so easily too. It's just like I think the casting over at Marvel just is like 9 times out of 10 is on point. 9 times out of 10 is absolutely on point. I say 9 times out of 10. I can't really off the top of my head like remember any kind of casting I didn't really enjoy or didn't really kind of agree with. So this one, Titania Maslany as Jennifer Walters and She-Hulk, no complaints from me, none at all, none in the slightest. She is pulling it off, and I just can't wait to see what more this series actually has to offer in that regard, and see how far she goes to. So I know people are going to be saying like, wow, if you enjoy this, then you should check out an Orphan Black. I think Orphan Black being what it is for TV and for Titania too, I think people are going to be saying like, if you like Jennifer, if you like Titania and She-Hulk, then go and check out Orphan Black. So yeah, people are going to be saying that. So yeah, the discovery of the Avengers and also the discovery of like Lucas are being done by Nikki and Pug. Nikki and Pug in this episode, as minimal as they were, I think I say as minimal. I think because this episode also did. I think it didn't feel short, but I think I'm actually. I think I did check back through the runtime too, and it was actually only half an hour, so it really wasn't that much of like that huge of an episode. So there was that. But so I think for them, minimal will probably be like at least like half the episode, like the kind of first kind of quarter of or something. So yeah, but then regardless, them two being together too, Nikki and Pug just being together, just them two discovering the Avengers and even buying like a shit ton of merch, and like him having a shield and like a hammer and her just kind of having the stuff too was really cool. So them two, like him. The way he talked about it, it definitely sounded like actual official Avengers level kind of merch and everything. So, I think there were new sneakers too. So I don't know, I mean, I hear sneakers, I kind of immediately my mind jumps to Converse, so maybe like Iron Man 3s over like styled as Converse or something. So there was that, but can't remember if he ever actually got the shoes. But then they went to the place, and then all they really discovered was actual Avengers merch. So Don't know if maybe the shoes then turned out to be alike or like, but if the shoes turned out to be alike, because then he did say he collects shoes. I think Pug did say he collects shoes and everything. Like he said one for stock and one for, I think he said one for wearing and one for stock. So one pair that he actually does wear out in public and everything, but then another pair to actually just have on display, like nice and probably in like mint condition or like in pristine, unworn conditions. He just kind of collects them. So there's people who do kind of collect kind of like not clothing in general, but I think certain kind of apparels of clothing too, like hats and shoes and socks. I think I've heard the socks is a pretty good one too. So I think any of those kinds of things. I don't really think people kind of really collect shirts or jeans or jackets or coats or anything. But then smaller apparels and stuff. I think those ones. And I think, you know what? There's worse things. I feel like there's worse things you collect. I feel like there's really worse things you collect. I mean, because I think it also depends on exactly what can really go into a collection. Because then a collection again. I feel like in most cases a collection you also do show off too, like in most cases a collection you do display, because you keep it safe, and it's a safe and sound for first and foremost. But then, you know, depending on how proud you are of it, then you probably do also keep them on display and everything too. Like probably not in like a full glass case. I mean, again, depending on what it is and who you are, but otherwise probably just put it on a shelf or something and just kind of have it kind of open and everything. So there's that. But to me, shoes doesn't really kind of seem like a half bad thing to collect and display. So to each their own. So yeah, he wanted Iron Man 3. So I think again, no reference of him ever having bought Avengers kind of shoes or anything before. So this could have been the first of its kind. But then again, but then I think maybe the point of that could have been like he goes there and he finds out that they're fake or something. So there's that. But then I think probably to actually watch the episode again to find out how they actually got to Luke's place afterwards too. So yeah, but either way, it was fortuitous because then they found out about Luke and the superhero stuff, and then that led Nikki down the path to getting clothes for Jen. So, and I think there was also like a passing line from Luke about like client confidentiality too, because then I think the helmet was actually in like an actual box too, and it was actually left open on like a counter, and then that's what annoyed Luke. And then he's like, you know, oh, does client confidentiality mean nothing anymore or anything? So then client confidentiality, and then he actually covered it with the actual pickup box and the pickup lid and everything. So client confidentiality. So then Daredevil being Daredevil, I think that also kind of does. I feel like that then also would mean that like he respects them, he respects their identities, he respects how serious they are about their own identities and their business and everything. So he actually does respect kind of keeping their transactions kind of safe and secure and everything, and their kind of dealings kind of safe. So Jennifer was practically a stranger, because then even then it was her first time actually getting a costume from him. So I think anyone new kind of walking in would immediately see that and be like, hey, that's a Daredevil helmet. Oh my god, Daredevil gets his kind of costumes from here and everything. So then that would kind of expose that part of his kind of dealing and his professional life and everything. So either way, I think that's just like a cool detail they added, that like he actually does protect the confidentiality of his clients and people who, and then the superheroes actually buy from him and everything. So yeah, I also kind of do have to wonder too, because I mean, with She-Hulk, I feel like that one is probably going to be like a really kind of expanded, like really kind of elastic kind of suit too, because then if it's a one size fits all thing, because then she wears the actual super suit under the wheel suit, so then when she transforms, it's probably going to actually kind of like expand and then like stretch out and everything to fit her even in large form. So there's that. So then that kind of, I feel like that would kind of require some kind of maybe technology too, and then Daredevil's thing would be like a reinforced kind of body armor type thing or something. So he clearly did, like, I think again he would likely need the money and resources from somewhere for this, but then he also actually knows what he's doing too. He actually does make suits that actually do last and actually do withstand the job, and actually can actually do withstand, like hopefully withstands the actual damage, and also actually kind of lives up to its kind of job description, or its kind of product description rather, and everything. So you know, he clearly does actually kind of take his thing seriously, where it's like, you know, you can actually trust his handiwork and you can trust his suits and everything. So actually building a suit for Daredevil, he needs to move around in it, he needs to fight in it, he needs to withstand like lots of damage from it and everything. So there's that. And then She-Hulk's thing, and he needs to actually stretch out to that to Hulk size, and then actually going to minimize down to human size again. So that's going to help. So he puts a lot of effort and a lot of work into his actual products too. So you gotta respect that. You gotta respect that. So yeah. So yeah, for now I think that might be it. I think it's pretty much everything I've written down. So I've covered all that kind of stuff. And again, I think I can't really kind of think of much else besides from tidbits and everything that really happened in this. So yeah, those are all my kind of initial thoughts on the episode. So yeah, great. Again, great. I'm honestly genuinely really enjoying this show. I feel like in a way that wasn't able to, but just like in like a very different way to the previous ones, because I think this one is like, you know, I feel like with this one it's kind of offering its own kind of superhero story in like a much more unique way, and I think the way they're writing it, but then also like the way that kind of like they're kind of having it like kind of revolve around Jennifer in its own way. It's just like for me, it's just very, very kind of, you know, like you know, like really engaging and really kind of fun to play along to, and really fun to think about, and really fun to watch along to and everything. So it's just a really fun show that can be kind of dramatic at points, and I honestly just couldn't really kind of imagine this kind of happening any other way, because then the way it's happening right now just feels perfect and feels really right and everything. So can't wait to give this a rewatch once the entire season's out and everything. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. So yeah, for now that is pretty much all I've got. So that was Marvel's She-Hulk Attorney at Law, episode number 5. So thank you guys as always so much for being here and for watching this episode. If you for watching this video, of course. If you guys enjoyed it, then feel free to leave a like and comment on what you thought of the episode and what your thoughts are for the coming ones and any theories you have and all that kind of jazz. If you are interested in watching the full-length reaction, then that one will be over on Patreon, so you can go check that over there. And yeah, that is pretty much it. So until the next time, bye bye for now.